In what way does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms of convention of the real media product?
The film opening convention was our company logo. This was the first thing that was played in our opening sequence, so the audience knew who was bringing them the film. The distribution company logo was also another opening convention that was used in our opening to inform the audience who was distributing our film. We chose Big Talk because it has produced loads of famous films and won awards. Produced by, written by, and directed by was shown next. These are another film convention for an opening in a film. Shown on a black and white screen gives the idea of a thriller because it shows good versus evil. The first scene introduces the main character. This is an opening convention. We know the main character is a hero because the white shirt and the dialogue shows he is a detective and has a professional job. Being a man as a hero, this is a thriller code and convention. The high angle and zoom in on the photo indicates the family is an important part in the film. Photographs are a thriller code and convention. They are effective because they give more detail and depth into the character and the story. We wanted the hero to be a detective. We got this idea from Face Off. We thought it was a good idea because we thought it was good that there was a policeman against a murderer. Flashback is shown in the next scene to give more information about the story. Flashback is a thriller code of convention. We got the idea from a flashback from Casino Royale because we think it makes people think more in the opening about what is going on and connect the characters together. The next shot shows mood and tone. Because the shot is in a high angle, it shows it looking down on the boy, and this shows sympathy towards the boy, and you question his role in the story. This is effective because it leaves you in suspense, and it creates suspense. Suspense is a thriller code and convention. We got the idea from a high angle looking down on a weak character from Sin City. We thought this gave more depth into a character and made you think about who they were. In the next scene, the music then builds, and the shot is in slow motion. This also builds suspense that something is going to happen. The slow motion effects gives the audience because it makes the audience suspect something is going to happen. The handheld camera gives the audience the same view of the villain. This gives the indication of the narrative of that someone is following the villain. This is another thriller code and convention. We got the idea of a handheld camera from Bourne Identity. We thought this was effective because it makes the audience feel like they are the character and also gives more detail about what the character is up to and the narrative. The high angle shows the indication of place of a suburb. This gives the indication to the audience it is a thriller because some thrillers are normally set in suburbs. This is an opening code and convention and a thriller code and convention. These shots are close upon the door handle to show importance of the door not closing. The music helps because it builds tension on the door. This is a thriller code and convention. We got the idea from the house scene from Sin City. We liked the idea of the house because you didn't think anything was going to happen in the house because it feels like a safe and secure place. You then see the villain. The villain is dressed in black. This is a thriller code and convention because black shows darkness. You identify quickly that this is the villain. We got the idea from Black Clothing from Face Off. We saw this really defined the character and who he was, and you immediately think that is the villain. We then see the villain and the girl in a mid-shot. Because the villain is standing behind the girl, this gives the audience more tension because you know he's going to attack and you want the girl to notice him before it's too late. When we see the violence happen, it's in slow motion. This stops the viewers finding out to know if he's going to kill her. This all creates tension, suspense, and this is a thriller code of convention. We got the idea from Bourne Identity. We thought the slow motion really exaggerated what was going on and made the audience think about the surroundings and what Bourne was going to do. When the fast motion really kicked in, this really thrilled the audience. The stairs are then shown from a high angle, and because the girl runs up the stairs first, This shows that she's a weak character. The gunshot allows the audience to believe someone has been shot, but leaves them in suspense because they don't really know what has happened. The gunshot is a thriller code and convention, but it is also a thriller opening code and convention because it reveals the genre of the film. The next scene is a close-up of the photograph that indicates the villain's next target, but raises question of who is the villain and why is he killing the family. This is an opening code and convention. Photograph adds important on the little boy because it zooms in on his face. This raises question in the narrative, who is the little boy? This is an opening code and convention. We used photograph because we thought it would make the audience think more about the characters and think about their depth. Photographs is a thriller code and convention. Because the photographs are normally in thrillers, this identifies to the audience the genre of the film. This is an opening code and convention. The photograph also shows obsession, because the villain is obsessed with the family and killing them all. Obsession is a thriller code and convention. It also makes the audience wonder why he is obsessed about the family and raises question in the narrative. This is an opening code and convention. The last scene goes back to the office and finally answers the question of who is the hero and why is he important to the family of the photo and the flashback scenes. The dialogue the detective said also shows obsession over the hero has to the villain. This is a thriller code and convention. The high angle in the shot also shows looking down at the hero. This shows the weakness in the hero and the weakness that he has lost his family. The last scene in the film reveals what the rest of the film is going to be about the villain finding the hero and the hero finding the villain. It also raises question about why didn't the boy get killed in the first place and why is the villain killing the boy. This is all good because it makes the audience want to watch the rest of the film and find out what happens.